Welcome back to Ask Amy. I have a couple questions today from Kristina from Denmark. So Kristina says, a few weeks ago I bought access to your site to watch the health anxiety course. It was so good. Afterwards, I watched the one with intrusive thoughts and it was life-changing. Seeing the women believe in their thoughts and stories made it clear to me that this is the same thing that I do. It was magical. I love that. And I love that, that's really just the power of groups, even if it's watching like a group, that was recorded or being in a small group, it really does something different from just one-to-one sometimes, or just listening to things on your own because, exactly like Kristina says, I mean, you really get to see, wow, they have the same thoughts I do. Like it's really all the same. Nothing is personal. Nothing is really all that unique at all. And that alone is just so huge for people to know. So much of our suffering is we think it's just us. And then there's this huge focus on me and what's wrong with me and why am I different? And like nothing could be further from the truth, but we can hear that, but it's one thing to actually see it. Okay. So Kristina then says, afterwards, I found the courage to listen to welcoming what arises as I still get caught up and have physical symptoms. It was mind blowing. Awesome. I'm so glad you got a lot out of it. Okay, so she has a couple questions. First question is a pretty quick one. Have you done anything or are you planning to do anything around parenthood, like an online course? So I'll just answer this one before I go into the other one, which is your bigger question. No, I'm not going to do anything around parenting, but there is a course, and you may have access to it, Kristina, on the membership that you have, by Jessica Silverman, which is a great course. She's a parenting expert from this kind of perspective. And she created, I think it's, I can't think of the name of it, something with patience, but it's excellent, gets a lot of good feedback, a really good, short, kind of easy to go through course all around parenting. So I would check that one out. Okay, so Christina's questions. She says, one of my questions is that sometimes I act even though I know it's not right for me. Every night I smoke a cigarette. I want to stop, but I convince myself to do it anyway during the evening. Sometimes it's as if my body acts before my head. It can also be that I take a piece of chocolate without wanting to. So that's the first question. Second one is, in addition, my mind can also tell me there is a hopelessness in this knowledge. I think it can be difficult to be in a conversation as I may not say the right thing. It's pure perfectionism. Now I know this, now that I know this, I must never say anything ugly again. Do you hear this from others? Okay, so let's go to your first one first, Kristina. Acting even though you know it's not right for you. And I love how you say sometimes it's as if my body acts before my head. I would say it's always, we might not notice it this way, but it's always that as if the body's acting before the head, because thought doesn't make things happen. Thought doesn't decide. Thought isn't pulling any strings. It seems like it is. It really, really seems like it is. But that's because we're so accustomed to listening to thought and believing it and being in relationship with it, like having these kind of conversations with it and just taking it as truth and taking it as us, that it really seems like thought is deciding to have a cigarette or have some chocolate or something like that. And so when you have moments like you're describing where you're like, wait a minute, there was no thought there. My body just did it. And that can seem strange, but I would say that's what's always happening. Maybe not always, but kind of, more or less, because thought comes in afterward. It's reflective, and it kind of just narrates what's already going on. So now that you've seen this, if you really look, you might start to notice there's just movement. There's just little impulses, little actions, little behaviors taken. And you may not notice this consciously, and that's okay, but just be curious and be on the lookout for it. There can be stuff that just spontaneously arises all the time, and then thought will come in and own it. It will talk about it. It will say, oh, I chose to get up and go refill my water. I chose to eat that chocolate. I wasn't going to have a cigarette, and then I decided I was going to have a cigarette. That's what thought's doing after the fact, though. That's all reflective. That's all just a movement in consciousness. And I just want you to consider that that's not actually making anything happen. It's kind of happening after the body goes and does its stuff. So for you, in your case, what you want is to not have the cigarette, not grab for the chocolate quite so much. I would just stay really, without trying to change behavior right away, I would stay super curious about what you're already noticing. Just watch how this stuff arises and really take it from the perspective of you're not making it happen. Your thoughts aren't making it happen. There's just all kinds of stuff happening. There's a reaching for chocolate. There's a conversation about a cigarette that spontaneously plays out in the mind. There's smoking of a cigarette or not. There's all kinds of stuff. And the more you can kind of just watch with curiosity, like just kind of like, oh, look at, now that conversation's happening. Now my mind just said I shouldn't have done that. Now, now I feel I noticed like a little movement to grab whatever it is. Just stay super curious. It's all just happening. But the more that you can kind of get behind it a little bit and kind of just like watch it happen from this space, it just kind of changes things. I feel like there's more I should say about that, but maybe let me get to your second question. Maybe that's enough to just notice that whatever the mind says, it's fine. You don't have to respect it though. You don't have to engage with it. You don't have to listen to it. It's not telling you anything important necessarily. Just watch and listen and just kind of see how it all plays out. And I have a feeling, because you already see into this a little bit, I have a feeling that's going to keep widening and that space will keep opening, and you'll see some really cool things here. So your second one, about being concerned about, like, now that you know this, you can't say anything bad or whatever, the perfectionism thing. I mean, it's as simple as like, that's just a thought, and really let it be that simple. There's absolutely nothing true about that. I don't even know what it means. Like it's not like there is a right thing to say. You say, you're afraid to be in conversation because you might not say the right thing. Your mind is making all of that up. Your mind is deciding what the right thing is, what the wrong thing is, how you would know, how it would feel, what it would mean, how you should just not be in conversation because you don't want to say the wrong thing. All of that is just thought. Just, again, let that just do whatever it does, but don't buy it. Don't buy into it. Don't respect it. It's just thought playing out. It doesn't need any attention from you. I think that's just going to make really kind of solve this, because there's no problem to begin with. The only problem with the perfectionism and it's like just believing what the mind says, and then it feels like there's a real problem. It feels like there's something to solve, but there isn't. There's just nothing there. It's just a conversation, and that conversation will play out about anything. So I hope that's helpful, Kristina. Thank you so much for sending your questions. You can all send questions to askamy@thelittleschoolofbigchange.com, and I will see you next time.